Hey guys, I just wanted to quickly touch in with you before I give you an update about how the luggage rack has been going on. Something I should mention, and maybe we might have skipped over this, is that none of us are actually mechanics. Apart from Murdoch, who's a bit of an amateur mechanic, all of these things have been something that we have learned along the way. We asked questions, we got help, we got guidance, and as our buddy Greg, who's been helping us as well, he kind of mentioned, he's like, these things can be learned, they can be taught, and it's something that if you just have the desire to go and do it, and the desire to make something, pretty cool, like we've been modifying a bus. Did I ever think I could modify a bus? No, I can barely change my oil. That's pathetic, but it's true. But you can do these things, learning things like fabrication, learning anything about electrical work, learning things about, sourcing out materials, painting, whatever it is. These are all kinds of cool things that we have figured out because we tried to do something a little bit bigger than us. People do the same thing, like my family. When they built a house, they had these contractors constantly, raping them of fees. However, they learned how to go and do a lot of that work themselves because they wanted to go and get it done right, and they wanted to get it done in a way that they saw it in their mind. These are not things, these are not hard rules for you to stick by. These are just things that over time, we've been doing this for quite a while in other bands as well, and we saw things that work, and we saw things that wore bands down. Whether it's just being uncomfortable or not feeling safe or being tired all the time. Some of these things have helped us so that we can continue on, so we're making these modifications as we go. And bus update. Just wanted to kind of fill you in with where we are. Last time we were talking about installing actually a luggage rack. And this was just so that we had a way to go and keep the floor area clear of things. That's normally the biggest problem whenever bands go on tour, is that there's always stuff lying everywhere and things always touching you, and you ever kind of get into your personal space. So this is kind of where we are right here. We've installed this. Now last time we had just got this welded in there. So what we did was we sanded the whole thing down, and then we added a primer coat, which is the gray. This will stop steel rust, what we were talking about. So what we want to do, and it happens apparently very quickly, so we had to go and do that, put a primer coat down, and then to go and make sure, because see, you're going to imagine there's sticking things in here all the time, we had to go and put a clear coat on there. So the clear coat will help protect it. It's not going to completely stop it from getting scuffed and scratched, but it's a luggage rack, So the other thing that we added is that we have these corners of death. So I don't know if you can tell the difference here, but this used to be a seat. So we took these parts of the seat and we just kind of made place so that if you whack your head, you don't hurt yourself. Probably shocked and scared and cry a little bit, but you won't be hurt. And we did the same for back here, and so you can see. So if somebody's rolling off the bed, they won't hurt themselves. So this has now given us kind of this area here above, and I'm in the process of installing back the curtain rods so we can have a little privacy to ourselves. But that's where we are. The other update that we also have is the fridge, where you've got it off the floor. We thought this would be a good idea because we noticed also when we were doing things like trying to cook or whatever, like most bands use a lot of, they normally just bring a big cooler. Problem is that means you have to invest in ice. I know it's not a lot of money. $3 adds up here and there. So we got this. So obviously we got the fridge, but we wanted to get it up off there so that we can actually keep things like pots and pans and storage and stuff like that. So that we can actually cook. Another cool thing that we took the time, we found these at Target and invested in it. That was $20, and that is actually a stove. So now I wanted to cook something on the road, grill up something, ideally not when driving, but then we actually have the ability to do that. So that's where we are, and that's the bus update. Got a couple more projects still. We got about 4 days until we take off on the road for 2 months, so got to wrap them up quickly. J-Rod's in the process of extending the countertop here so that we have a little more space, and then we also are going to be working on some more cubby bin area space. Cool.